Okay, ladies and gentlemen, I'll try this for like the 800th time. Welcome in on the madness here. So let's do a little description of what's going on. So this is a series I wanted to do for a while, and I need to still work on some of the other series that are ongoing, like the flights across the U.S. and bush plane. But this one specifically. So what's going on? Well, excuse me. It has been a long week. So, the idea behind this is that I am in a simulation racing league, and obviously, being Sim Adventures, we're interested in all things simulator. So, I am very interested in the idea of the different tracks that we're visiting, actually flying to those via flight sim, kind of make a end-to-end comprehensive as best we can with the sims that we have. Simulator story here, right? So, for example, right now we are at Oshawa Executive Airport, one of the busiest general aviation only airports in, for sure, in Ontario, and I think in Canada as a whole. And so it is right next to Canadian Tire Motorsport Park, also known as Mosport, which we just finished round 3 of the Rick Motec XMS Racing World Challenge Series, where I'm running in a Lamborghini Huracan GT3 Evo. Terrible race, and we can go over that during the actual flight. But the idea behind this is that, okay, I'm going to fly back to in real life my near my home airports, and so in this case we're going to fly down to Greenville downtown in Greenville, South Carolina. So that's the general idea. We're going to be using various aircraft because while this week and this week's race and in 2 weeks the race will be in Indy, those are in the U.S. There will be some that are out. So after that's going to be, I think, Hockenheimring and then Suzuka, and there might be 1 or 2 other international races. So, excuse me, I expect that we're going to be in a Cessna Citation. I might purchase the Longitude, we'll see, or I might go and purchase a third-party aircraft to do that. But, yeah, so in this case, this is a good mix of, like, it moves pretty quick. The TBM 930 is a good plane. It's easy enough for me to be caught up to speed because I flew it quite a bit when MSFS 2020 first came out. So, without further ado, we're going to go through. I'm running a Logitech X56 HOTAS and a Logitech little flight switch panel, which I'm going to try to add on to and build a separate rig for that. That's what we're running peripheral-wise, and I'm just using my Fanatic pedals as rudders and brake. So, without further ado, I'm going to lean on the Microsoft Flight Simulator checklist and things like that for some of this stuff. But yeah, let's... Excuse me, get into it. So we are going to turn the AI off as far as helping with that. So I had actually already done the inside inspection for the checklist on this aircraft, so it should be good in that regard. We're going to raise the crash bar here. Oh, there we go. We are going to turn the source to battery because we do not have a ground power unit. So that is that. We're going to do generator to main. Here we go. We're going to turn off these master cautions real quick.
Aural warning, okay.
Sweet, sweet. Okay, we are going to test the DI system and landing gear lights. I can tell in real life and on the sim that we are good to go there. Lights are good. Turn off that.
TOS system test, okay.
Real quick, let's see if the panel lights. Oh. There we go. Okay. There we go. Panel lights are working. This panel is, my real life panel was built for Cessna, so that is why that is the case. Okay. Let us look here. Okay. Okay. Excellent. Landing gears are good. And fuel on board. So that's one we need to set up real quick. I'm not sure of the true fuel burn on this plane. I know that its range extends to about 1,700 nautical miles. We're only going to be running between 500 and 800 nautical miles. So let's go greater than 50% and see what we have here. We got 50% right now. consumption. Does it actually say? Does it give us consumption data? No? Okay. All right. We are going to go to about 70%. Make sure that we are good to go on that front. That's good. Fuel on board is good. Check for the engine start. So, ignition. Real quick, we're going to badonk. And alternator will turn on as well. Check these. Park brake, oil pressure, fuel pressure, bleed off, auto select, low voltage. Okay. So, for our fuel select, it is already set to manual. We're going to change that in just a sec. Our ignition's already set to auto, so we are good. Auxiliary boost pump. We're going to turn that on. Okay. Prop area. Can we get a clear prop? You guys who watch Jimmy's World will get that. Starter on 2 seconds, and then... Oh, is it gonna... No, okay, so not using the panel for that. That's fine. 1 and 2. Set low idle when NG reaches 13%. We have reached that. So we're gonna go, oh, low idle. Okay, pitot heat is on. Auxiliary boost pump is on, and we're turning that back off. Okay. Good, good, good. Fuel pressure, starter throttle, low idle, max 870 for 20 seconds for the ITT temp. Let's do this real quick. Master warning off. It's going to be set to... Okay. Do we have fuel pressure? We do not need the inertial separator on. Or off, excuse me. Bleed is off. Okay. Throttle set to low, idle. Reached that. NG 30% for 30 seconds. Oil pressure and temperature check. Okay, that is sufficient. Automatic starter is off when it reaches 52%. Okay, so that should be good. All right. Surprisingly, we don't have fuel pressure. We got that on. Inertial separator's on. There we go. Turn that off. Do we still not have fuel pressure? That's a little concerning. I would like to better understand why that's the case. Okay. Autopilot and trim, we are going to turn that on. Okay. Auto select. Okay. Okay, throttle low idle to flight idle. There we go. That's probably going to fix some of our issues here. That's why our park brake is on. Bleed to auto or max diff. We're going to turn it on to auto. Park brake is good. Auto select is going to be up here, which... Don't know that we need to oh, for ignition. Okay, so we can just go to on. No, it's not wanting that. Okay, we'll leave that then. We'll come back to the auto select system. Oil pressure is still good. Auxiliary boost pump has been set to auto. Starting now. There we go. Generator is set to main. So that is already done. Okay, and bleed is auto or max diff. So that is good. Before taxi, though, Inertial separator needs to be on. There we go. That is on. Flight controls check. Let's check outside the airplane. Hey, we're going to go beacon lights on. Go nav lights on. We're going to go strobe lights on. Taxi lights for sure, and landing. Well, actually, we can do taxi because we need a little bit more. Okay, so all of that is running. We are now going to set up our flight plan. Actually, I guess we'll turn this off until we get ready to go. Okay, so we are going to go direct to select waypoint. We are going to go to KGMU, Greenville downtown. Enter, activate direct. So that should be in 567 nautical miles. We should have more than enough fuel. Okay, we are going to leave that as it sits right now. We're going to go ahead and get our flaps set to take off. Make sure we are clear there. We are going to request taxi.
Ground Dahmer November 107 Papa Whiskey with Oscar request taxi to the active straight out departure.
Yeah.
Dahmer November 107 Papa Whiskey taxi to and hold short of runway 12 via taxiway tree Delta Bravo. Contact tower on 120.1 when ready.
Got it. We'll read that back.
Taxiing hold short runway 12 via taxiway tree Delta Bravo Dahmer 7 Papa Whiskey.
Alright, so we're going to do this. And we're going to taxi and hold short of runway 12 via 3 Delta Bravo. Roger Dodger. Alright. I believe we are also going to set our heading just so we are totally aligned on where we're taking off from. Okay. Get turned over here. We're going to be turning around. Right in here. There's an old aeroplane right up ahead. I'm going to make sure we maintain center line here, so we are flaps good. Okay. Let's do this. We're going to
Tower Dahmer November 107 Papa Whiskey ready at runway 12 straight out departure.
Dahmer November 107 Papa Whiskey altimeter 29.79er wind 157 at 4. Departing straight out approved. Cleared for takeoff runway 12.
Alright, we're going to acknowledge our
Cleared for takeoff
clearance.
runway 12 Dahmer 7 Papa Whiskey.
Okay. Now I haven't set up all of our autopilot, so we're going to follow the flight director here. Boom, there we go. All right. So yeah, we are definitely going to be hand flying, which is cool. I like hand flying. But we will set up autopilot once we're in the air. Typically not ideal, but that's okay. Here we go. We got a little bit of wind here, a little bit of turn. There we go. Positive rate gear coming up. Switch from taxi to landing lights. Maintain this attitude. Gear still coming up. Gear is up. We're going to go flaps up. Okay. And we are going to enable our yaw damper here. ITT temp, yep. Got that corrected. A healthy and reasonable climb rate and a...
Daughter 7 to Papa Whiskey, leaving my airspace frequency change approved.
Excellent.
Tower Daughter November 107 Papa Whiskey frequency change.
So there's Lake Ontario. Okay. I'm doing a lot of holding here, so we're going to start trimming the airplane. Also going to do this. So let us, our heading, select heading. I'm going to set that. And that is actually the only autopilot we're going to engage for right now. Just going to be heading mode. Level flight. Do this. Okay. Excellent. We will now start navigating towards our desired deal here, and we are going to go set our altitude up to about 15,000 feet. Start up at 10 and then we'll move from there. Okay, and we are going to need to go nav mode, which will now put us on our GPS course here. We're gonna go vertical speed. That's gonna put us up at 1,000 feet per minute. Pretty aggressive climb rate, but should be definitely doable. Okay, while that's going on, set some of our stuff up here. Okay, that should be okay. Auto select, let's see here. Okay. I don't know if that's the ignition that it's concerned about, or if it's the fuel select. See. Okay, so that addressed that. Okay, so we are now climbing and heading in the right direction. Based on this, we are going to be about 2 hours en route, but that's also, we're climbing pretty aggressive. We're not at max cruise altitude yet. So, we got our barometric pressure set up, 29.79. We won't do that. There we go. 29.79. Good, good, good. Okay. So we're going to bring down the Getting down to about 70%. Do that, and we will leave that info. Okay. So let's take a quick peek outside. Okay. So, it's, yeah, this is good. This is good. Ah, that's convenient, okay. So, now we are in the air. Once we reach our cruise altitude, we'll talk a little bit about the last race, and we will talk about the upcoming race. Yeah, let's see, UTC time. We haven't actually set a timer. Let's get this. Not too concerned about our controls, but I would like to see wind. Yep, there we go. Let's see. That is the one I prefer. Attack is on, which is fine. And I think that is going to be just fine. Let's see, sensors. Anything good there? No? Okay. Yes, also no. Alright. It's 1,000 feet per minute. Pretty healthy climb rate, especially at 200 knots. So, should be in healthy shape here. Let's see what options we have here. Okay, oh, cabin. Here we go. Actually turn? Or does that just turn? I don't know what that actually does. Okay. Let's see if I can get some good camera views inside here. Oh, in that case, that's scary. Okay. Okay. Sorry if you're getting seasick here. Just do this to bring us back into real world. That's smart cam. Don't want that. Quick view, instruments, pilot. Let's see. Close pilot, co-pilot, and lighting. It's, how did I do that? Oh, I know how I did it. Aha! Yes, so. Back here, that is us leaving Canada, and, well, not leaving Canada quite yet, but, and if you were interested, let me see if I can get us a VFR map here on what things are looking like. Boom. So, that I believe is Lake Ontario. This is another Great Lake. I can't recall exactly which one, but we got a little ways to go. So, just do that. Pop back over here, see how we're doing on our climb. We are going to start bumping that up to 15,000 feet, and we will go down a little bit because we're moving pretty quick. We're not joking around on torque and prop speed and any of our other measured things here. So looks like we got a little rudder trim. Doesn't look like we have a lot of aileron trim. We got a little bit of pitch trim, which makes sense. Autopilot doing its thing. Altitude in feet, so this is our cabin altitude. Rate in feet per minute, which is fine. Differential pressure. So, I believe we should be okay. Should be okay. All right. Inverted flight prohibited. I did do this before we jumped on here, just saying. But let's see, actually. Oh, that was a little bit of a weird way to do this, but maneuvering speed, maximum operating, flaps extended max 178. That's good to know. Landing's 122, so we need to be real slow when we're doing that. Landing gear extended, max speed 178. Okay, so we can hit 178. Landing gear operating speed maybe 178 going down, which makes sense. Okay. Okay, I think we're gonna be A-okay. Let me get us back seated in the right position here. We'll look overhead. Okay. So we are not climbing at a crazy rate now, which is fine. We are speeding up a little bit, so we still have plenty of torque. I'm gonna go ahead and just try to get us finished out here. So, yeah, let's. Oh, excuse me. Ooh, just be ready. It is the thing. I yawn a lot in these. I don't talk a lot during the day other than in meetings, and depending on the day, I may not even talk a lot in those. So, we're going to go Toronto Center. We're going to request flight following.
Toronto Center, November 107 Papa Whiskey is type TBM 910 miles northwest of 6 November Yankee 10,900 feet. Request flight following.
Porter 480, contact approach on 133.4. Good day.
Okay,
Delta
1334.
November 107 Papa Whiskey Toronto Center. Swap tree 774.
Okay.
Going to 133.4 Porter 480.
So we're going to acknowledge our squawk code here.
Squawk tree 774 7 Papa Whiskey.
Okay.
Docker 7 Papa Whiskey radar contact 8 miles north of Charlie Yankee Sierra November 11,600 feet. Altimeter 29.78.
So we've got our squawk code in here. We are going to adjust
Roger,
our
Dover 7 Papa Whiskey.
barometric pressure on here to go down one and on there to go down one. Okay. Let me do one more thing.
Toronto Center, Dover November 107 Papa Whiskey. Request clearance to transition Bravo airspace.
Docker November 107 Papa Whiskey Toronto Center. Cleared through the Bravo airspace.
Okay.
Cleared through Bravo airspace, Dover 7 Papa Whiskey.
Okay. Alright, so we got about 2,500 feet to go, so about 2.5 minutes, and then we will be at what we're gonna cruise at, altitude-wise. Looks like we're getting pushed a little bit, so we're flying right of our course, but that's okay. We're now back over land. So, we'll just pop back over the top here just so we have a little bit of a view. Okay. Ooh. Story time. So let's talk about this week's race. Today, as we're recording, is October 12th. So race was on October 10th. And yeah, it was an interesting situation. So I had not probably practiced as much as I should. The race actually got postponed until the 10th because of a broadcast scheduling issue. So yeah, went in, had practiced and gotten familiar over the weekend, and then Sunday night raced with my brother, did some practice at the track, felt really confident, had really good lap times. Admittedly, they were, come to find out, I was a little bit under fueled, so weight wasn't quite indicative of what I was going to experience in the race, but I didn't expect, it was about a 4-gallon delta between what I ended up at versus what I was practicing with. So 4 gallons, 6 pounds a gallon, 24-ish, 25 pounds. Didn't expect that to, you know, crush me here. Oh, 1 second.
Toronto Center on 128.275.
Okay, 128.275. So we're going to
Going
acknowledge
to
that handoff.
128.275 Dover 7 Papa Whiskey. Toronto Center, Dover, November 107 Papa Whiskey 14,400 feet.
Okay.
Dover November 107 Papa Whiskey Toronto Center altimeter 29.78, continue as planned.
Excellent. Okay, so we should be good to go. So yeah, that I didn't expect to make the huge difference. So I had a really challenging Monday personally. So that obviously I was a bit distracted, but I was like, okay, we're gonna head down, change clothes, took a shower, drank some water, got ready, did some practice laps. Was like, okay, I've had a couple spins here, but I think I see where the where my challenging deals are going to be. I had a plan going in, and half of me didn't follow the plan, and so that is, I'd say, to blame for some of what I experienced. The other half, I think, was a lack of mental fortitude, being able to say, okay, like, let's focus, like, increase the focus a little bit. And so anyways, we'll get there. So practiced and with the correct track conditions and car conditions, said, all right, let's get this thing done, let's do it. Went in, qualified 4th in class in GTE AM, 11th overall. Said, okay, I'm happy with that. If we can get things rolling and just survive, it's going to be a tough track. People are going to be dying, so I'll try to survive. Well, we start the race. I avoided some wrecks. That much was good. Lap 2, I believe, dropped a tire going down turn 2. And if you know Mosport, that's a high-speed, kind of off-camber, crested downhill section, sweeping downhill section, and dropped a tire. Can't recall if I ended up touching the wall or not, but I thought, you know what, no big deal. Only lost a couple places. It's not the end of the world. I can make it up. So I start catching. Within a couple laps, I catch up about people who are about 8 seconds ahead. 8-9 seconds. So I get up to them. I get an opportunity for a clean pass on someone I was clearly faster than, going into the last the S's after Moss Corner.
Dover 7th Papa Whiskey.
1 second.
Contact Cleveland Center on 125.2. Good day.
So, let me acknowledge this
Going to
handoff.
125.2 Dover 7 Papa Whiskey.
We're going to tune into Cleveland Center real quick, contact
Cleveland
them.
Center, Dover, November 107 Papa Whiskey 15,000 feet.
Dover November 107 Papa Whiskey Cleveland Center altimeter 29.80, continue as planned.
Okay, there we go. Catch up, get to an opportunity where I was clearly, like, I had a great opportunity for a pass, a clean pass at that. And I didn't think I had quite as much room as I did. Threw it on top of a curb into somewhere where I typically have a bit of a braking situation. And since I was tight on the inside, I really needed to brake more than what I was able to, and ended up hitting the wall. Didn't hit it so hard that I couldn't do anything, but it was not good. So I said, okay, let's just get through the race. At this point, we'll take whatever attrition places we can make up and move on. I start running. I catch back up, pass a guy, ended up back in, let go, out of turn 1, spin. Get passed back after I just passed this guy. So I get going again. Well, coming down that same turn 2 area and that sweeping high-speed corner, I caught up to a TCR car, and the closing speed is pretty fast in that section. Well, they had to check up because they dropped a tire, and I had dropped a tire too.
Portal 140, contact Toronto Center on 124.925.
So that's not us. So I go to, I'm catching right up to the back of them, expecting them to make a standard maneuver to the track, and they didn't. They moved the opposite direction, which pushed me into the grass. I tried to brake because it was because of the closing speed, running right up to turn 3, and I plowed into both of us. And at that point, I wasn't having fun. I wasn't racing at the quality that I would expect other people to be racing me at. And so I decided, you know what? I think it's time to call it. So pulled it into the pits, retired from the race about less than probably 20 minutes in. that was my deal at Mosport, and I've seen in the like really awesome league, good people, good admins, good everything. You know, I could definitely tell people had some unfortunate opinions on the Lamborghini driving in general, and that track was just challenging for the Lamborghini. So yeah,
Contact Toronto Center on 128.275.
just real quick.
Good day.
Pilot volume, I think. Okay, we'll see if that helps a little bit. But yeah, so
Going to 128.275, United 22904. Exjet 807, contact Toronto Center on 124.925.
oh, here we go. Let's see. I'm sorry. Okay. Yeah, retired the car. So that was the end of that. Didn't make a lot of friends in that whole deal, but you know, sometimes that's how it goes. I own all the mistakes that occurred on my end, and we move on. So
Cleveland Center Exjet
next.
807 is passing flight level 400,
excuse me.
descending 10,000 feet. Exjet 807 Cleveland Center.
Again,
Continue
excuse me.
as
So,
planned.
let's see.
Exjet 807, contact Toronto Center on 128.275. Good day.
Gallons per hour, and okay. So we have plenty of fuel because we're an hour 45 out. So
128.275.
next race
Exjet 807.
next race is at Indianapolis Motor Speedway Road Course. A little bit flat. I'm hoping that's where I get kind of to a reset of my season so far, because I started out really well. I mean, my racing wasn't good, but my finish was really good on round one, which is at Road Atlanta. Competition was definitely fierce there, but I managed to do okay. Moving into the upcoming race coming to Indy, I'm hoping the fact that it doesn't have a bunch of elevation change, it lends itself to not having to worry about managing how the car is going to react to that, and pure basic, like back to roots, back to basics, kind of route style racing where I can work on my actual lap time, my familiarity and technique with the car, my racecraft with other drivers on track, and overall just my mental fortitude. That's something in general I'd like to improve about myself. So to kind of facilitate that, one, more practice in the car on the track, and then I'd like to do some racing, lower class racing in the official series for iRacing to get more practice around other cars and just get more comfortable. Like, I used to be racing all the time on the sim, and now I've really stepped away from it just because of work and everything else going on. And I would like to get to a point where I'm comfortable and proficient enough to be safe and drive to a healthy level that's fair to other drivers and fair to myself, and trying to be competitive. Oh, okay. Sorry, I disconnected my or turned off my. Excuse me. Let me first turn on the prop de-ice. I want to make sure that we're not going to start.
United 1232 have the traffic.
Okay, good. Got that on too. It's -9C, so it is technically below freezing. Once we get down south, if the weather's accurate, then it's going to reflect that we actually have some moisture in the air. So, crossing my T's and dotting my I's. But yeah, I want to be able to provide a level of racecraft that's fair to myself, but also fair to other drivers. So that's the goal for next race. It's going to be practice in the Lamborghini to be proficient with that car, be fast and be on pace, and be competitive with the car itself, and then some lower level racing for the official series so that I can have the advantage of it being a little bit slower and being a little bit more populated with racers that are similar iRating to me, So yeah, overall practice is a big deal, and then the mental fortitude portion of that, I've gotta do some searching, some kind of soul searching on how I want to actually achieve that. So more to come, and when I find it out, we'll see in a week and a half now how that turns out. So that is that's what's going on today.
123 to contact Cleveland Center on 132.4.
Excuse me.
Good day.
But yeah, super excited about the series. Again, like I have wanted to do series like this, and I just haven't made time. Some of it's I haven't had time, and some of it's I haven't made time to actually go and do that. And so now I'm making the time to do that. Oh, 1 second.
Resume on navigation.
All right, gotta contact Cleveland.
On 132.4. Good day.
Good day. Acknowledge.
Going
Handoff.
to 132 decimal for Dahmer 7 Papa Whiskey.
Let's tune in. Let's contact
Cleveland
Cleveland
Center,
Center.
Dahmer November 107 Papa Whiskey 15,000 feet.
United 123 to contact Toronto Center on 128.275. Good day. Dahmer November 107 Papa Whiskey Cleveland Center altimeter 29.80 continue as planned.
Excellent. Yeah, I mean, I started a series where I was doing bush flying across the country, and I left off in Texas. I think I ran a Beechcraft, maybe? In either case, I ran a plane down to Texas, and I need to get back on that series. But I'm really excited about this one because I'm passionate about racing and flying, and this kind of marries those two things and gives a little bit of continuity across some different things that I'm doing here. So yeah, that's kind of the idea. Also, some exciting thing, and I need to do a walk around on my racing rig. I finally kind of rearranged my office, and I can clean up my racing rig to be presentable. But I am going to try. I'm working on getting a CNC router put together and try building my flight simulator setup so that it's separated. It's a little bit different design. So for context, for those that don't know, you know what? I think I'm gonna be mean here and leave you on a cliffhanger. I will explain it. Got a bit of a headache right now. Gonna go grab some coffee and water, and jump back up here in just a minute. So until then, let's do this. Let's go. We're gonna do one of these right here. So we're gonna give you a little bit of a quieter experience. All right, I will be right back.
Cleveland Center, American 2689er is at flight level 350, descending 10,000 feet. American 2689er Cleveland Center, continue as planned. Cleveland Center, American 2306 is at flight level 330, descending 10,000 feet. American 2306, Cleveland Center, continue as planned. American 2689er, contact Cleveland Center on 125.2. Good day. For American 2689er. UPS 9er 761 contact Cleveland Center on 120.775. Good day. .775 UPS Niner 761. is at flight level tree 70, descending 10,000 feet. United 2335 Cleveland Center, continue as planned. Center UPS Niner 761 is passing flight level 225
Okay.
descending 10,000 feet. UPS Niner
Okay.
761 Cleveland Center.
See how we're doing.
Continue as planned.
Doing alright? Okay. So, I'm back. Real quick, we will get into what I was discussing before, which I believe is my sim rigs. Or sim rig right now. Let's actually do this. Let's do... Here we go. A more global look at what's going on here. Looks interesting, okay. KOAI. Let's see. Oh, that being said, hold on. Before, oh yeah, let's do a little, okay. There we go. Cool. All right. So real quick, given all of the codes, we are in the USA, which is awesome. So, simulator rigs, yes. I have. Actually, I need to just quickly turn that off. Strobe can leave on. I'm doing all of the things I probably should have done like 100 miles ago. It's on, panels on, de-ice is on, good. Fuel pump is off, avionics master strangely is off, but let's just, okay, there we go. Okay, just ignore that just happened behind the scenes. You didn't see it, didn't happen. All right, here we go. So, my racing simulator. So I am running a PC that has an i7-10700K with an RTX. An RTX 2070. It's an ROG Strix card. So that's the PC specs. One sec. Gotta contact Cleveland Center.
Good day.
Going to 134 for 75 7 Papa Whiskey.
Let's contact them real quick.
Cleveland Center,
Make sure
November
everything's
107
copacetic.
Papa Whiskey 15,000 feet.
Also make sure we get our right barometric pressure. Not that it makes a crazy
November
huge difference.
107 Papa
Ooh,
Whiskey
it's
Cleveland
pretty big.
Center altimeter 29.86 continue as planned.
Yeah, so we're gonna go 2986 and 2986. Perfect. Okay. So, yes. Back to what I was saying. That's the PC specs. I'm running M.2 drives and other solid state drives in there that are really, really good. So, love that. Then I am running on a 8020 15 series aluminum rig. It was built by 4Play Sim Racing, I think. Their store is typically through eBay. I don't think they have a bespoke store, and if they do, maybe that's new. But yeah, I got this rig a long time ago. It was like less than $500. Fairly easy to put together. Now, I will say it was pretty rough as far as the quality. The quality was good, but like, it's I would say it's if you're looking for a 8020 rig for like entry-level peripherals, this is the one, right? Like if you're trying to get like a Thrustmaster or low power direct drive wheel on here with some like Fanatic, what are they, V3 pedals. Sorry, it's been a while since I bought all this stuff, so I don't remember all the names, but yeah, it's a good solution for that. And then I bought their triple monitor mount as well. So that's the rig. I have an OSW, so an old style open sim wheel midge direct drive wheel. It's the 20 Newton meter variant. I definitely don't run it even close to that. I got noodle arms, so I'm a mama's basement racer here. But yeah, so that's the wheel. I have a Pulsimer formula style wheel for my like paddle shifted type cars, and then I have a Ford Performance, Ford Racing Sparco steering wheel for H pattern cars that I don't need any button boxes or anything. And that's actually supposed to also be on my race car in the garage beneath me, funny enough, but it rarely sees any time on that car. So, yeah, those are kind of the two wheels that I'm running. I have an OMP or a Momo 270 mil wheel and an old like Fanatic leather one that I don't even have a quick release on, so I can't use right now. H-pattern shifter, I have an old Fanatic, like before they did the sequential and H-pattern together, I have that one where it's just an H-pattern. And I had a Derek Spears design sequential, but I tore it apart because it wasn't working right. I did not like it. Now, his new stuff may be just fine. This was an older unit of his. I got secondhand off of the iRacing market. So, by no means am I disparaging Derek Spears designs. I think he's probably come out with great products since then. And even that was probably a fine product. Maybe it wasn't maintained well, or maybe it was Maybe it was just an early design. I'm not super familiar with the origins of the design from it, but I do know for a fact it's a Derek Spears design. I can tell you the internals, the quality for the PCB was not good. I think it was using the wrong sized gauge wire. It was too small. Soldering was not very good, and then using hot glue as basically a, I don't want to say heat shrink, but as a adhesive to keep all of that from being disturbed. While it's a good, like, scrappy way for someone to do a DIY job, I wouldn't expect it to be a commercial offering. Now, that being said, maybe that was done after he sent it to a customer. Like, I'm not going to spend the whole video here defending, like, what I'm saying about the product itself, but all of these things may be subject to other factors that were before I received the unit, because I didn't buy it direct from him. Again, it was secondhand. So that is pretty much what I use for racing. I'm running an NRG seat, fixed seat. It's, I tend to put, so we can get in this in a separate discussion, and you can roast me. I have a purple seat cushion, okay? For longer stints, I'm running a purple seat cushion. Truth be told, now that I say that, that's probably what messed me up on this whole race last week, because I didn't have my purple cushion. Didn't have my purple cushion, but I digress. Fixed seat, it's fine. Endurance races, it can be a little challenging, so purple seat's definitely a must on that end. And then the back portion of it, like it's got a little padding, probably an inch and a half of padding, but I can feel the fiberglass backing being just like rigid. So that's pretty much the rig. That's the racing part. Oh, I'm running 3 27-inch curved AOC monitors. For the price, I'm not sure you could do much better. They're $170, 144. They're either 144 or 165 hertz. Maybe they're 144. My other monitor on my desktop is 165 hertz. 1080p. I'm not running any kind of 1440p craziness. I don't have the graphics or anything to really run it. And truth be told, I'm more than satisfied with the graphics quality of what I have. So yeah, curved monitors. They do a great job. Again, for the value, to me, I know value is super subjective. I was just watching a Jay's 2 cents video, so I'll echo some of his sentiment, which was value is very subjective. I think it's a good value if you're trying to get into a triple monitor setup, especially if you want curved 27 inches, which to me is kind of the sweet spot if you're doing like a standard curved system, if you're not doing like a 65-inch total surround, setup. So that's what I'm running. NRG quick releases for all of it, and I love it. I think it's great. I run some Alpine Stars karting gloves, and this does everything I need. So super satisfied. So that being said, that's my racing rig. Now it is doubling right now. It's doing overtime, which is why right now I can see this, but you guys can't. I was trying to give you something else to look at, but I'm happy to kind of back out and maybe do one of these real quick so you guys get a little bit of everything, right? Maybe something like that. And maybe even a little bit of a zoom in, There we go. Kind of bring some clarity to some of the numbers here on the screens. So, yeah, I had a fun time. So I've tried to pick up a couple hobbies in the last couple years, but have not, I suck at that, like I think most adults do. But I did pick up some welding and kind of light metal fabrication. I am not a fabricator, so let's just get that out of the way. But yeah, I took some measurements and bent up some flat stock, I don't know, maybe 1/8 inch thick steel. Bent it so that it would fit onto the existing 80/20 rig, and when I do a rig walk around, you'll be able to see this because I'll mount it. But yeah, and then welded some flat stock to make a through hole latching feature on the back so it wouldn't fall off. And then I mounted my peripherals for Flight Sim on it. So that means I mounted my joystick on the right-hand side direct to this. Oh, sorry. So those are the arms of this, and then I have some polycarbonate, pretty good thickness polycarbonate from a splitter project I did on my Mustang several years ago. So I have mounted my throttle and my stick to that piece, and then mounted that piece to the flat stock steel. and I measured it out so it's perfectly spaced, so I can fit my keyboard in between those two components. And then I didn't space this out, it just worked. I put that Logitech control panel on the back side of this as well, so I can still see it, access it, and it's all good to go. It's a great, like, quick, I'm going to call it quick release, but it's a great quick release setup, because I can literally, like, I can have this thing on and off in less than 30 seconds. On and off and plugged in less than 30 seconds. I mean, it's that quick. It's really, really efficient for dual use or dual purpose on this rig. But what I intend on doing, and actually I'm going to pause real quick. So I went and got some coffee, went and got some water. I'm going to have a quick drink because my throat's starting to hurt. I'm dedicated. I got the hot, I got the cold, and I took Advil for the headache and the sore throat. So, but what I would like to do is actually set up a separate flight sim that's not as, not set up for the same use, right? Like, my racing simulator with the triple monitors and stuff is great for that, and it's an incredible flight sim experience too, don't get me wrong. But I'd like to have some panels or a panel in front of me with like a 6-pack for your steam gauges, or be able to switch it to like pop out of the Garmin suite that you see here. So, fun fact, and some of you may know this, is that, let's see, how do you do it? Oh, maybe it's this one? Yeah, here we go. So if I basically right shift selected this. Wow, that's bright in my eyes. Oh, there we go. And you can drag this down to another screen or another monitor. I would like to have a setup where basically I have, you know, like the airplane in front of me with none of the gauges and stuff. As practical as it makes sense to have as far as the camera setup, with like either a single monitor or a projector setup, and then have a second monitor source for like that, what I just showed, the pop out of that, or the steam gauges running on it, and then to actually build some of the flight control, maybe not flight control, some of the controls in an aircraft, like your lights and your radio and anything in real life that you want, right? Like ambient lighting option, or like a phone charger and other peripherals into a panel, and yeah, use the same PC for it, but basically have a instead of a dual use PC and rig and peripherals, a dual use PC only. So that would mean like a powered dedicated USB hub solely for the use of the flight sim peripherals, and then the same for the driving sim peripherals, and then basically just change out the display inputs, or I guess in this case outputs from the PC. So that's kind of my next project. I don't know that I'm going to get to it this year. May get to it at the end of the year, but not confident that that's going to occur. But I'm going to try to CNC out all of the major portions of the flight panel itself, like the in front of me flight panel, so that it has a monitor provision in it. It has some of these Logitech peripherals I want to have in it. It will have mounting in the back for like powered USB hubs. It'll have ambient lighting, because like right now I can't see, because the panel I have, the Logitech controls panel I have in front of me, it does not have lighting on the panel itself. So I actually have to like squint, because it's nighttime here. I have to squint or light it with my phone so I can read what some of the different features are. So have ambient light in real life to be able to read that. And yeah, maybe have some like some fan options there, right? Like have a little perforated cutout where I can just route an easy like PC fan for pilot cooling. just kind of fun stuff, like a good opportunity to have some fun projects, like side programming and hardware projects and CNC projects, while also making it functional for things like this, which I just enjoy doing, and really having fun with the whole thing. So that's the plan right now, for those two things, and I'll definitely do a walk around of everything. I'll do it the as-is state as well as the future state whenever it's finished, or at least while it's in progress, and we'll go from there. So, boom. That's more than you ever wanted to know about what I'm intending on doing with this setup. But if we take a quick peek out here to this, we have that airport, which is, I believe it's Pittsburgh. Let me just check. KPIT. Airport. It is Pittsburgh International Airport. So we were over Pennsylvania right now. Looks like via our avionics, we are an hour and 19 minutes out, 355 nautical miles. 9 o'clock, 5 miles. There we go. It's right underneath. Yep, they are in sight.
Blue Streak 51 tree traffic is 1 o'clock, 4
Well, no, they're not in sight, but
15,100 feet, Dover TBM 9. Report them in sight.
Well, okay. It did not give me the option to actually report them in sight, but that is okay.
Dover 7 Papa Whiskey traffic is 9 o'clock, 4 miles at 14,400 feet, generic. Report them in sight.
Yes, they are in fact in sight. Yes.
Dover 7 Papa Whiskey traffic in sight.
Cool.
Blue Streak 51 tree traffic is 10 o'clock, 4 miles
Cool.
at 15,100
I'm gonna have some
feet,
coffee
Dover
here.
TBM 9. Report them in sight.
Blue Streak, you better report me, dog.
Cleveland Center, Lufthansa
Okay.
469er.
Hope
is
they
at
don't run
flight
into
level
me.
370,
Don't think we're gonna have a midair, but
10,000 feet.
yeah, okay. This is definitely
Lufthansa 469er, Cleveland
this
Center.
coffee,
Continue
hot
as
coffee
planned.
is definitely helping with the old throat.
Dover 7th Papa Whiskey. Contact Cleveland Center on 120.4. Good day.
All right.
120.4 for Dover 7 Papa Whiskey.
Let's tune in here and contact them.
Cleveland Center, Dover, November 107 Papa Whiskey, 15,000 feet.
Dover November 107 Papa Whiskey Cleveland Center altimeter 29.87. Continue as planned.
Let's do that. Let's do that. Boom. Cool. All right. So, let's see here. I was going to talk more about me, but that's not very fun. I want to hear from you guys. So, one, what do you think overall? Enjoy the idea of this or not? If nothing else, I'm going to, like, at the end of the day, I'm kind of doing this for me because it's something I want to do, but happy to you know, maybe tailor some of the aspects of it that are
Generic Charlie 7
in reach to make you guys enjoy more. If that means some more of this, bam! Can't even see the freaking airplane because it's so daggum dark. Wow, yeah, this is a very dark plane.
Descend and maintain 10,000
Let's do
feet.
this.
Expect vectors, visual runway
There we go.
17 generic Charlie
Yeah, if it means some
79er.
more of that, if it means some more. Oh, I almost spilled my coffee everywhere. If it means, you know, kind of looking back here, or even, let me do this real quick. All right, some of this. Some more Pennsylvania fun. Ooh, look at that in the distance down yonder. It's pretty exciting. Then yeah, by all means, please let me know, because I am very interested in, you know, not only doing this for myself, but providing some value or some enjoyment, entertainment to other people. But yeah, a couple of questions. So I'm drinking coffee. If you're a coffee person, let's do a couple this or that kind of questions, right? So coffee or tea. And we'll get into the weeds here. I'm gonna start with coffee or tea. Let's try to do a couple of questions here. Coffee or tea? Hot, specifically hot coffee or hot tea. And then how do you take it, whether it's tea or coffee? Do you do cream? Do you do sugar? Do you do just the drink itself, so just black coffee or just whatever kind of tea? I'm a black tea fan. I like black coffee as well. Like, that's my day-to-day is pounding black coffee like it's going out of style. No sugar, no creamer, no nothing. When I'm at home, you know, I might doctor it up a bit. Might do a little creamer, might do a little sugar. Like in this case, I did sweet and low, big sweet and low guy. But yeah, and then tea, I will say I can do tea in any of those configurations too, but my favorite's definitely like a little bit of milk and a little bit of actual sugar, not sweet and low for tea, actual sugar. And yeah, that's probably my favorite tea kind of deal. But let me know what your go-to is. Are you a coffee or a tea person? Talking hot coffee and hot tea. And how do you take either of those, whatever your favorite is? Yeah, or neither. And if you're neither, just don't bother coming back. Just don't bother continuing to watch. Go ahead and sign. As a matter of fact, log off this video, go to your user account, and just delete your YouTube and your Google account. Just delete it. If you can't get on board with coffee or tea, you can just get out of the video. Okay, no one. Okay, well, if you don't, I'll take it back. You can stay, I guess. But please do put down what your third option is, because if it's better than those two, you can also get out. But if it's worse, then I'll feel a little bit better about it. Let's do a little status check here. That is going to be hour and 13 minutes. Sweet. Let's also check fuel, make sure everything's going as we planned. So it looks like we got 68 gallons a tank. We're running 70 gallons an hour. Let's do some other quick, just basic system checks. So prop speed is within spec. Torque is a little high. And I don't want to have a torque-related failure. Let's do that. I'm okay dropping a little bit of speed in favor of reliability, as any, I think, reasonable person or pilot would be. Looks like everything's in the green, which is good. Oil pressure's good. Oil temperature's good. I think it's the inlet turbo temperature is the ITT, if I'm not mistaken. I could be wrong, but it's in the green. Our current from the battery is good. Generator is good. Surprised they're reading 0 despite actually being in the green, so I need to do some research on that. Voltages, 29 volts. I'm assuming it's a 24 volt system, so that is sufficient. Rudder trim, elevator trim, I'm not too worried about because it's we're an autopilot. Cabin pressure at 8,000 feet, which is fine. No change in cabin pressure because we are maintaining a constant altitude. Well, no significant change. Obviously, there's external pressures that are changing based on our location and the weather, but that should be that. I believe that means we're healthy. Now, let's talk. We were going direct to Greenville downtown, but I'm very curious. Let me do procedures for the approach here. So there's a couple of different ones, and I would like to actually see them before... Oh, let's see if I load it. The approach for ILS-1, let's see. 1, that's gonna be... Oh! I said load, I didn't say activate. Damn, okay. JK. ILS approach for runway 1. I gotta do a quick look up here. I need to get my airport info real quick. And I don't want to alt tab. So typically I alt tab in this circumstance, but I don't want to do that right now. So let me just get some quick info. Runway 1 is going to be the south to north, I believe. Okay. And I'm okay with that. So that actually flies over my office building and my office building and girlfriend's office building as well.
American 1113
cool.
Cleveland Center. Continue as planned.
Okay. So runway 1 I'm comfortable with. I do, however, want to do this Sky Vector. So Sky Vector, awesome resource. It's free. I like it. So there's going to be... Six degrees, 3.6 nautical miles. Okay. That's very interesting. All right, well, let's go look at the current plan.
Cleveland Center Delta 829er is passing flight level tree 40, descending 10,000
I'm very
feet.
curious as to why I don't have...
Delta 829er Cleveland
Yeah, why we
Center.
don't have-
Continue as planned.
Why we don't have... that. That does not go through the same...
Brickyard 5650. Contact Cleveland Center on 126.905. Good day.
What do we do?
126.905 for Brickyard 5650.
That's Sparky.
United 438, contact Cleveland Center on 126.905. Good day.
Let's do this MFD flight plan. Okay.
126.905 for United 438.
Okay, I need that. What I need is for it to come up on my MFD. Do I have any map settings? Orientation is north up. Okay. Activate. I wonder, out of curiosity, if I do this, oh, okay, so it's gonna, okay, alright, well, it is not totally broken then. That is, I'm not sure if that's the intended design of the system here, but that is okay. It's gonna get us where we need to be. Sorry, you got to see me struggle through that. Check in with KGMU, alright. This seems right. Yeah, okay, so we're gonna do this waypoint and then we'll pop up. There's the Donaldson Center. That'll be that. There's GSP, which is also a good airport. A little bit bigger, though. So that will work. Oh, let's not do that. Let's do back flight plan, and let's do this. Let's see if it will do activate leg to wait. Oh! No! Sorry. Okay, never mind. This is where we need to be going. Active nav is gonna be this. Let's just keep it consistent. I know this will work, so we're going to leave that. Okay. And 2,300 feet is going to be the expectation at that time. Okay. That's going to be the localizer. Some of this I'm reading on my phone, by the way, if you're wondering what's going on. So there's going to be, let's go check. So we're not going via Sparky. So pattern max of 6,000. Let's do that. That's a Sparky. 2187. Okay, so 2,300 feet should make. And that's at the Donaldson Field. Okay, so 2,300 should be fine. That's what we're gonna do. 2,300.
Air Shuttle 6017. Contact Cleveland Center on 126.905.
We are 287 nautical miles away, which is all good. Okay.
Going to 126.905. Air Shuttle 6017.
So we're gonna keep that, and then once we get to Judkey, we will run down.
Contact Indianapolis Center on
Got to change to Indy.
125.55. Good
Roger, Dodger, baby. Good day. Hand off
125 decimal flight,
knowledge.
flight Dodger, 7 Papa Whiskey. Indianapolis Center, Dodger, November 107 Papa Whiskey, 15,000 feet.
Dollar November 107 Papa Whiskey, Indianapolis Center altimeter 29.87. Continue as planned.
Excellent. Okay. So we are going to continue, and we should be good to go at that point. Refresher on this, since I'm not running this plane all the time. We're going to do landing gear at 178 and flaps at 122. So 178 and 122. Okay, excellent. All right, so I know that was a little bit of logistical work here. I got a triple line takeoff up. Okay, but got to make sure that we're doing okay. So let's see here. Put that away. So we've done the coffee conversation. My coffee's doing pretty good for me right now. I'm gonna do a little water, try to do a little hot and cold action. But yeah, let me know. Separate item here. Interesting separate item. So I don't know when it started. It's been years, but I've had some. Oh, wait a second. Oh, we got a broke issue here. Hold on. Oh man, that was sending us off course. In all the changeover of our settings here, we were just holding altitude. Dadgummit. Okay. Dang it. That was my bad. Okay. That aside. But on my right hand, my wrist, so not the ulna, but kind of in the center area, definitely on the bone is what it feels like. Maybe it's not the bone, but I am having some wrist challenges. Like, I get it comes and goes. Like, I'll do something to tweak it, or like in this case, I was just racing for practice, and it like really started hurting me, and so it's still pretty sore right now. But if anyone has any ideas on just general wrists, like I don't know if I don't have any cartilage there, if I have some kind of weird tendonitis, or if it's just been sprained as long as I can remember, or if I just got weak ass wrists, which is probably the most likely, or it might also be true in tandem with the other things as well, then let me know, because that's one that I gotta get figured out. It is not pleasant. It is not pleasant at all. But yeah. Oh, excuse me. So, plan right now, just to give everyone a quick heads up of what we're looking for today. We are 272 nautical miles out, I believe. Maybe maybe from Judd Key right now. Okay, so we're going to Judd Key. So yeah. Okay, so 270 nautical miles from Judd Key. Just under an hour left to go. And here's what we are going to do. Now, there are real pilot ways to do this, but I'm not a real pilot. So we need to know, we need to get down to like 2,300 feet. So we need to drop 12,700 feet. And I'd like to do it in a controlled manner. It's 12,700 feet. Grounds, I'm assuming ground, so true, let's see. I gotta remember all my definitions here. Failing. Here. True airspeed, I'm assuming, is like, because we have a headwind right now, it's gonna be whatever we have going on plus that. So like our ground speed plus the headwind. So I'm assuming 227 is about 227 nautical miles per hour is what we're running. So at what rate, vertical speed wise, do we need to drop 12,700 feet and by the time we reach this point in 264 nautical miles? I will let the comments explode here as you do the math to understand this. For me, I'm just gonna wing it. We're gonna go, let's see, vertical. We're gonna go flight level control. Sorry. Is it flight level? I'm trying to think if it's, I think it is flight level. Oh, okay, yeah, no, that's right. I was like, oh, we're pitching again. Rolling again. This is awesome. So, we're basically gonna try to hold 220 knots, drop power, so that we can start dipping down without having to modify the power to keep the aircraft safe. So, if this makes sense, basically to keep the aircraft safe.
1566
we want to ensure that we maintain a safe, you know, a safe speed. And so we're going to say, okay, make sure that we are pitched, autopilot, make sure that we are pitched for 220 knots. And then I will pull back the power, which will induce the autopilot pitching the nose down. And we'll try to make sure that the vertical change, vertical speed, is reasonable, right? Like, let's do, you know, maybe 1,000 feet per minute, or make sure that we're between 5 degrees nose down and 0 degrees nose down. Something to make sure that the aircraft is safe in decreasing its altitude. That's like our paramount concern. That's the quick and dirty way I know how to do it, not being a real pilot. And I'm going to guesstimate and use my best inferences to when I should start doing that. Because we can always get low early. I don't want to have to circle and get low late or make any diving catches here. So that's what we're going to do. That's the plan. Ooh, excuse me. Ooh. So let me know if you enjoy the series in general. Might be good to live stream, right? Like, if I get enough interest in this, I'll post live stream times to do this exercise, and then we can have a live dialogue, and we'll just post the VOD kind of as a post-mortem. But I'd love to have that kind of interaction just with other people. I'm not looking like I'm not doing this to make money or to get famous or make it on YouTube or Twitch or whatever. I'm doing this because I enjoy flight sims and flight, and I enjoy racing sims and racing, and I want to kind of link the two together and have a full end-to-end experience and just enjoy that. Obviously, this is a night flight, so it's a little less exciting. What I might do is try to do, you know, I don't want to say every other one, because then every 2 flight will be in the daytime and every coming back flight will be at night. So I will try to make sure in a race weekend series, right? So you're going to go to the track and you come back from the track. I will try to make sure that there is at least 1 night flight and at least 1 day flight. And I'd like to do them real time. I just like doing real time stuff. Nope, let's see here.
Good day.
Okay, we're gonna acknowledge that handoff.
4 for Dollar 7 Papa Whiskey.
And tune into Indy Center and contact them.
Indianapolis Center, Dollar November 107 Papa Whiskey, 15,000 feet.
Delta November 107 Papa Whiskey, Indianapolis Center altimeter 29.87. Continue as planned.
Okay, so it should be good because our altimeter is already set for that. Awesome. All right, let's see if we can find some airports that we recognize here. Some yellows. Here's a different way we can go about this. We'll do this. We're gonna go nearest airport. 41, St. Run, Bogsfield, Summersville. I wonder where Summersville is. Let's try Summersville and just see where we're at. West Virginia. All right. West Virginia, Mountain Mama, take me home, country road. Right. Man, very cool stuff. So, we get, actually we're going to get this back because what I think may actually end up occurring, and I want to try to avoid it if we can help it, is going to be, I need to set the autopilot to the next waypoint. So, let's do this thing. We are rocking and rolling here. Our 236 nautical miles from the Donaldson Center-ish area. So fun fact, Donaldson Center actually hosts a number of different activities as far as big industry here. So they host things like Lockheed Martin. So the F-16, I forgot which block program it is. I don't know if I know it's not the block, or I'm pretty sure it's not the Block 60 program, but the F-16 program recently, in general, not recent as in like weeks, but in the last few years, there's been additional F-16 programs awarded to be done here. So that's a big deal in this area as far as like job creation and more draw to the area and just overall better livability. And now it's brought more people, so that comes with some consequences as well. But overall, a very, very cool thing. But yeah, so that's kind of the Donaldson Center. One of the things they host. They also host companies like BMW, ZF. Who else runs there? They have like a full-fledged test track that simulates. If you're in the automotive or commercial vehicle industry, you'd be familiar with like Altoona testing. It's where they basically beat the crap out of different vehicles, find out what breaks, how long it takes to fix it, grade them on that. So all that to say, it's like a test track that has a lot of the accommodations that you'll face at Altoona. It also is home to Stevens Aviation. So if you go to Stevens Aviation, they actually have they're kind of outdated, but some pretty cool like YouTube videos. There's a Texas guy from Lubbock who got his King Air 350, I think, with what looks to be like King Ranch leather inside, and they repainted it to match like Texas Tech colors, and beautiful aircraft, and beautiful work done by that team. They did an incredible job. But if you ever drive by that facility, they have all kinds of incredible aircraft. They do engine overhauls, new engine installs, anything and everything aviation. Really awesome group there. So yeah, very neat place. It's one that I would recommend if you're in the area, or if you're looking for different industry that any of those things interest you. See if there's any opportunity around there. It's not that far from Greenville. I think it might be considered in Greenville, but Greenville's a beautiful place too. It's got tons of amenities, good people. It's just a neat kind of experience. So 10 out of 10 would recommend. So yeah, KGMU, where we're flying into, is actually pretty cool too. So you'll notice there's pretty frequent traffic going in and out of there all the time. But you talk about traffic when a Clemson football game, because Clemson is not that far from Greenville. Clemson football game's going on, a home game, forget about it. Private jets, private planes flying in there like clockwork. They're cramming it, planes as fast as you can cram planes into that airport. So pretty neat. There's a Seneca airport as well, that same thing. It's just like bam, bam, bam. They're getting people in there. So really, really neat. And I'm very interested in getting my pilot's license in real life, and that's one of the places I'm considering, looking into pilot school. So we'll see. Yeah, show of hands in the comments, and feel free to actually put a hand emoji, just because I think it would be funny. If you are an actual licensed pilot and or an actual racing driver. Now, we can be real bougie and be like, oh, wheel-to-wheel only, but come one, come all. If you're an HPD, track day enthusiast, throw that hand up. Tell me what you got. Tell me what you like to race. If you're a wheel-to-wheel guy, Tell me what you like to race, if it's motorcycles, if it's Formula open wheel cars, if it's tin tops, if it's whatever. Boats. If you race boats or jets, any kind of watercraft, put 2 hands up. If you put, please put 2 hands up. I would love to see the population of people that are racing watercraft in any capacity, whether it's high-speed boats, you know, like cigarette racing boats, offshore boats, jet skis, center consoles, because that's apparently a thing I've learned. Yeah, let me know. That'd be interesting to learn. Yeah, for sure. For sure, let me know if you race on the water. I just think that'd be cool. Oh, excuse me. All right, local time is 8:36. So we should be probably about, I'm guessing 9:30, 9:40 is when we're gonna get in to old Greenville downtown. Also, I would so I'm not opposed to face cam. I don't think hyper self-conscious. But and I do have a whatchamacallit, a webcam, but right now, because it's dark and this is not a well-lit, you know, in the sim it's dark, in real life it's dark, it's not a well-lit thing, and I also don't want to blind myself. Let me know if you're interested in that. Maybe the daytime flights we go camera on, nighttime flights we go camera off, or we go, what I think would be really cool is if I set up the flight sim setup to have like a monitor for either a 6-pack or the, you know, the glass cockpit gauges in front of me, and also have like the autopilot controls, the landing and light controls, and the comm controls laid out, as well as some of the other stuff I want to put together. Maybe from behind pilot perspective. You know, maybe we have that as well, so you can kind of see what's going on. That might be a good nighttime compromise for that. So let me know. Keep me informed. Keep me informed. Real quick. Oh, 1 second.
Contact Indianapolis Center on 126.575. Good day.
We're gonna go acknowledge that handoff.
126.575 Dover, 7 Papa Whiskey.
Tune in to Indianapolis.
Indianapolis Center, Dover, November 107 Papa Whiskey, 15,000 feet.
Dover, November 107 Papa Whiskey, Indianapolis Center altimeter 29.901. Continue as planned.
Okay, do that. 901. Okay, all right. So, real quick, gonna take a brief little break from the sticks here. Give you a nice view. I'm gonna check some stuff out real quick that I need to check out, and then yeah, I'll hop back on. So, like 5 minutes max, probably closer to like 2 minutes. All right, I am back. So, let's check some things out here, make sure everything is operating as intended, and we are good to go. Looks like our torque is in the green, prop RPM's good. Did forget the NG acronym, so I'll have to check that out. ITT temp is good, oil pressure and temperature is good, current from both the generator and the battery is good, voltage on the battery is sufficient, flaps and trims are okay, differential pressures acceptable, altitude for the cabin pressure is good. Let's see here. Last couple of quick things. We're 176 miles out from our first waypoint that's going to really just turn us around towards Greenville downtown. So I'm thinking when we get down to, let's see if we need to do that. I'd like to get down to maybe 5,000 feet at, start heading that direction at maybe 80 miles to our waypoint there. So if that's 80 miles, that's going to be 20 minutes out is when we'll do that. You know, I don't know that that's what I want to do. I want to, if we divide this by 4, it's going to be about 40 miles out, so maybe 130 miles. 130 miles out, we're going to start trending downward. Because I don't know exactly how long we're going to take because I'm winging this. I'm not a real pilot. So some things that I would also like to do while we're on the, I'd say the tail end. I mean, we got 40 minutes, and that's just to get to the waypoint. We probably got another 20 minutes before we're taxied and good to go after that. So, but I would like to do the real comms with any of the live VATSIM team whenever there's different controllers on. I would like to do. Yeah, I'd like to go through and actually communicate on that. Now, I will probably wait until I have the comms, Logitech comms panels, but that is something that I'm actually interested in. Like, I find that to be a very attractive kind of thing to learn, you know, as an aspiring one-day pilot. That seems like a pretty neat thing to aspire to maybe do in a simulated environment, you know. So, yeah, that's one I'll probably trend towards as well once we get there. But at the end of the day, like, this is to have fun, so I don't want to sacrifice the fun aspect for the realism. To me, part of the fun is the realism, but there's certainly, if you shift that to where it becomes a chore, I don't want to get into that territory. So we're going to, yeah, we're going to work our way into doing that, and we'll see how it goes. Now, in real life, y'all can't see this, but I am changing. Is that the way I should do that? Oh my, this is not going how I planned. So I have lighting around my rig, and like underneath it, so all the internal flooring glows underneath it. And it was set to green because that's kind of my car's colors, but I'm changing it to red. I found in my real life car too, because I can change the colors of the ambient lighting, that red's a little bit more forgiving on the eyes. And right now all my Logitech peripherals are like green, which, while really awesome because it matches the car and looks really good, a little bit bright on the old peepers when it's dark.
119er decimal for 75 7 Papa Whiskey.
Go. Tune in to these.
Indianapolis Center, November 107 Papa Whiskey 15,000 feet.
November 107 Papa Whiskey, Indianapolis Center altimeter 29er tree. Continue as planned.
Cool, got that. All right. Yeah, let me know what y'all think about that. I think, again, that's more of a, maybe I do that next year. So again, actually not again, but for the first time, maybe, for context, for the Racing League. Let me get back to the main page here. So the schedule is as follows in 11, almost 12 days. Indianapolis, 75-minute race. Let's see. I'm I'm scared to even see here. Holy moly, I've dropped down so far in the standings, it's not even... Oh, never mind, that was for that race. I've only dropped down one position. Okay. Let me get past that. So, we have Indy, Hockenheimring, Suzuka, and then Road America. So we only have 3 more races. This should be a pretty low effort, thing to close things out. But that is on 12/12. So December 12th is the last race, and it's at Road America. So I've been to Road America in real life, I think 4 times, at least 3, because I've done 2 June sprints and a runoffs, but I think we've done 1 other weekend there. So 3 to 4 times in real life. Love that track. It is like, one sec, gotta change centers here real quick.
Going to 126.575 Dahmer, 7 Papa Whiskey. Indianapolis Center, Dahmer, November 107 Papa Whiskey, 15,000 feet.
Dahmer, November 107 Papa Whiskey, Indianapolis Center, altimeter 29.9 for continue as planned.
Okay. So yeah, I'm incredibly excited about that race. That is one that, like, I want to have a good showing. I want to have a really strong showing. But ahead of that, Suzuka, historically a track I've struggled at, and it has all of the elements that have proven challenging for the Lamborghini this season. Hockenheimring, I'm familiar in regards to watching some content from that track. I have not raced, I don't think, probably a lap there, and if I have, I don't remember. So, that one's going to be a struggle for me. Also, we're in Virginia. We got a contact Atlanta Center, which is good. I think that's going to be the last center we have to do, unless maybe Charlotte? Maybe?
Atlanta Center, Dahmer, November 107 Papa Whiskey, 15,000 feet.
Dahmer, November 107 Papa Whiskey, Atlanta Center, altimeter
but yeah, so...
continue as planned.
In brief here, let's see, we're at 147 miles. In brief here, go ahead and set our altitude. That's kind of my outlook. Is like, I'm not convinced that I'm gonna have, unless some really like adverse things happen to other competitors, which I'm definitely not wishing on them. Some things are going to have to go right for me and wrong for other people to get to a point where I'm really competing for a podium this season. So, that being said, I just want to do my best and have a good showing and have fun doing it. And so, what that looks like to me is like next week at Indy. That's one where I just want to I want to kind of reset the season for myself. That means I want to get better with the car, more familiar, and make sure that I'm dialed in on understanding the car. I want to do the practice as far as driving against other drivers, and then go have work on kind of my focus aspect of my driving for that race. Moving past that into Hockenheimring, that one's going to be track familiarization. So making sure that I'm confident in the car at that track and confident in myself at that track. Outside of that, reinforcing the driver aspect with doing some official series races so that I'm confident in the wheel-to-wheel scenario and making sure that I have good racecraft. That's going to be a continuous effort. And then, that's probably going to be one that I worry less about the end result on and more about, I'll be slow if it means that I have good racecraft and finish the race with, minimal incidents or at least self-induced incidents. And because that's one of the things going into the last race that I failed miserably at was like, I want to have less than 10 self-induced incidents. I want to come away with no damage on the car unless it was someone else's fault, and even then obviously I don't want to come away with that. And I want to work on really focusing corner by corner, and I failed at a minimum at the first 2, and the last one I would say at best I struggled with, but at worst I failed at that too. So I got to work on all of those things and continuing to reinforce throughout the season. Hockenheim I think will be a good one as far as not a lot of elevation change, but challenging as far as like the course I'm unfamiliar with. So I'm going to carry some of those same goals in mind, with one being, okay, let's go tackle a new course. You know, my philosophy so far on tackling new tracks or tracks that I don't practice a lot has been, let's focus on a sector and really try to dial in that sector. And then once I'm confident and can repeat that sector, let's go to the next sector and continue that until I feel comfortable with all of the sectors. And the disparity there is that I think I'm practicing some bad things in some of the sectors while I focus on a different one. So I may really hone in on sector 1 and then lose focus on sector 2 and 3 and practice bad habits, and then I have to correct those, and that's one I just got to work on. I'm going to pause talking there because we're almost at the 130 mile mark, which is when I wanted to start the vertical descent towards our 5,000 altitude set. We are going to go flight level change, and I'm going to back off the throttle whenever we do that. So we are close here. I was going to say close enough, but I'm going to try not to be too ambiguous here and try to stick to a plan. So we're within half a mile now. I'm going to go ahead and select that, and we're going to 220 knots. So I'm pulling back the
American 815 Atlanta Center. Continue
pulling down the throttles here. Okay. So we're between our 2.5 and 5 degree nose down attitude. I'm going to go ahead and leave that because we're descending at a pretty rapid rate, actually much more rapid than I expected. So I think that's a comfortable place to have the throttle for right now. So as you can see, like, just so everybody kind of understands what I'm physically doing here. So I have set our target altitude to 5,000 feet. I've set our target speed to 220 knots, which this is indicating we're maintaining. That's what that blue bug is. We're at 5 degrees. I believe this is the 2.5 degree mark here. So we're at about between 2.5 and 5 degrees, whatever, I guess 3.75 degrees. And I have physically done that by pulling back the throttle, which you can see on the torque and the torque value here, that we're definitely not stressing the engine by any means.
Contact approach on 125.25.
Let's contact approach here for Atlanta.
Going to 125.25, 7 Papa Whiskey.
So what this does is it keeps us with a consistent estimated time on route by maintaining our lateral speed basically, while also maintaining a safe attitude with the aircraft on descending here. Now, truth be told, you should understand what the maximum rate of descent is and the maximum recommended attitude is going down, but I don't know those things, so I'm using my best conservative efforts here, best conservative estimates.
Approach Donner November 107 Papa Whiskey 12,100 feet.
Donner November 107 Papa Whiskey approach altimeter 29.905. Continue as planned.
So, and this I believe is flight level change. I think that's that acronym. If anyone was interested. So there is that. Now we're going to go ahead and set our heading bug because we are going to be flying into runway 01. So that's going to be, I believe, set at 10 degrees. Now I believe the the runway is actually set at about 6 degrees. Let me confirm that real quick. Approach course is 6 degrees, so that'll make sure that we're aligned whenever we get to that point. Not necessarily how you maybe should do this en route, but you may be wanting to set your heading bug to match your course. But I'm comfortable with this as designated right now. So we are definitely coming down though, getting a lot closer to the ground. Pretty interesting stuff. And the only reservation I have about this is being that we are, 115 miles out. I want to make sure we're above the peaks. So it's mountainous terrain in the North Carolina and South Carolina border area. Blue Ridge Mountains, I think, is running through there all the way down to Georgia. So we want to be careful with our descent here that we're not getting too low. We will use our terrain vision here, though that shouldn't be your exclusive or sole source of information there. Let's see. And one thing I'm actually going to check is just as a fun kind of check here. Okay, so elevation of the tallest peak mainland of eastern North America is at Mount Mitchell, which is in North Carolina, and it's 6,600 feet in elevation. So we are going to be about 1,000 feet under that. So I hope we don't try to fly over. No, we could actually set our, and I think that's what I'm going to do. We'll set to 7,500 feet because we still got 110 miles. There's no sense in trying to get too low too fast here. 100 miles out, we should be safe. Let's do vertical speed. Just do a quick and easy. There we go. Okay, so we are in healthy shape, getting over here to our desired altitude and our desired location. Now we are burning fuel at a pretty quick rate. If we were to have to hang out another hour, we would have a problem, but we're not. So, and part of that's because of this 33 knot headwind. I mean, it keeps us in the air really nice, which is great, but man, oh man, does it make it challenging to do this. As a matter of fact, we should probably reconsider our runway, to be honest, because as much as I love coming in that approach, with no headwind, we're going to be at like a 30 knot deficit. That's probably not in our best interest. So let's go into our approach here, or our procedure. Yep. Approach, LS. Transition at dude. We're going to load and activate that. It's going to change course here a little bit. There we go. Just curious what that functionally looks like. Okay. That should be fine. Yeah, I would have liked to have come in from the south to north approach, but it's just, I don't think it's in our best interest. So, that's what we're going to do. All right, excellent. That will mean we can come in comfortably with enough airspeed to set the plane down the right way. About 20 minutes out, which is good. Now, that being said, we do need to readdress what we expect on our flight plan here, so 4,000 feet is what we're going to aim there. That do transition. Okay. I'd say we probably actually want to be about 4,000 feet at the transition point, which is about 80 miles out. It's only a 3,000 foot drop, which means 2 minutes. At 2 minutes, we're going to be 60, about 20 miles. So let's say 30 miles out, we're gonna drop down to 4,000 feet. Let's go ahead and get our altimeter set for that. And that is when we are also going to start our set up for flaps and landing gear. So we are going to go flaps and landing gear to takeoff and landing gear extended at 178 knots at our due transition, and then at TIVL between that and HITBA we're going to be down to our 122 knot full extension of flaps, and we will hand fly the aircraft in at that point. We're going to try to autopilot our way to the HITBA location, but yeah, fun stuff. I enjoy the like trying to plan everything out. So gonna get almost done with the coffee here, so I'm gonna try to get some sips of that in real quick. Now it's cold. It's cold brew coffee now. Check back on my SkyVector docs here. And check RNAV to runway 19. There's the TIVL. Yeah, so TIVL is going to be pretty much straight into runway 19. So that's 2,400 feet at TIVL, which I think we already saw. Or no, it's 20. Okay, so 24 at HITBA. So upstream of that, though, there is the tuxedo transition, but the due transition's at 4,000. Yep, it's I because I'm not a pilot, I'm kind of inferring what the meanings are here. But like, dude, we're at 4,000. TIVL, we're at 2,400. HITBA, we're at 1,088. Runway, we're on the ground. So that's just me not being a real pilot here. It looks like we have some legitimate terrain off to the right and up here. It's technically below our horizon, but that may be off past where we're actually getting into. NC06. So we're in North Carolina, North Kakalaki. Interesting. Let's see. I wonder what airport that is. Elk River, Boone. Okay, so we're not far from Boone. That's where I believe Appalachian State is, or Appalachian or Appalachian. I've had some fun but interesting like dialogues with some of my staff about like ancillary versus ancillary, and they tried to call me out and say it was ancillary, and when you go to Google pronunciation, it is ancillary, which is how I was pronounce it, so it's satisfying to say, ha! I was right. Which, you know, I gotta take every opportunity I get because I'm not always right. But definitely should have set the timer. I should start doing that more often. I should. I want to do that more often. Let's see here. Oh, okay. I'm just pressing buttons, so bear with me here. Oh, synthetic terrain. That's the name of it. Interesting. Okay. Okay, so no, not that. Weird. Okay. Our 5 mile look there, and we'll have our larger look here, which is about 20, which we're gonna even bump that more. 35, there we go. Okay, 60 miles out. Whew, what a flight. So, kind of looking ahead. The next one's to Indy, and let me do a quick. I'm gonna do some kind of guerrilla math here to Indy. I'm gonna guess the thing here. Oh, easy. All right, 347 nautical miles to Indy. Let's see here, 230. It's be about an hour and a half flight in this plane at 230 knots. And I think I'm okay with that. I'm comfortable with that. So let's plan for the TBM for Indy. But the next one's going to be a little bit more tumultuous, all right? So we got to go to Hockenheimring, which I'm assuming is in Germany, but I could be wrong. Let's see. Hockenheim, Germany, a town in Germany. Okay, so yes, Germany. We need to make it to Germany. That's gonna be a long. That's gonna be huge. That's gonna be a big. Probably. We'll see if I end up getting interest, which I mean we're talking about gaining traction and interest in like let's see. We have the race for Mosport, flight back from Mosport, flight to Indy, race in Indy, flight back from Indy. So in 5 videos, if we can gain enough interest for some people to tune into a stream, I will host a stream and we will go over to Germany, to the Hockenheimring, and I'll do the multi-leg stint. We'll make a day of it. And what that will functionally look like is I will plan out and maybe even include some of the planning. I don't want to bore anybody, so I'm probably going to like pre-plan it and then walk through the planning, and then we'll go in and actually fly to Hockenheimring with probably a jet of some sort, whether it's the standard citation, because that's what I meant. Oh, that's it.
Contact Atlanta Center on 132.625. Good day.
So there's the Cessna citation, and then there's the
132.625 7 Papa Whiskey.
The Cessna citation longitude. Let's see here.
Atlanta Center, November 107 Papa Whiskey 7,500 feet.
November 107 Papa Whiskey Atlanta Center altimeter 29.997. Continue as planned.
Sorry for the delay here. I'm trying to look into the citation longitude.
7 Papa Whiskey. Contact Asheville approach on 125.8. Good day.
Yeah, so the CJ4 has a 2,100 nautical mile range, supposedly. I've heard Microsoft Flight Sim. It's not as... It burns fuel way faster.
Papa Whiskey. Did you copy?
Oh, sorry. Yes,
Going to
I did indeed.
125.8 7 Papa Whiskey.
And do that. Okay. Ooh, Asheville approach. I like Asheville.
Asheville approach.
I was just in Asheville this weekend.
107 Papa Whiskey 7,500 feet.
November 107 Papa Whiskey. Asheville approach altimeter 29.997. Continue as planned.
So the standard citation CJ4 is 2,100 nautical miles, while the longitude is 3,500 nautical miles. So you get about 1,400 extra nautical miles of range, which would make sense for the exercise here. If I have enough traction from those in which I'm distributing these videos to, I will stream that, and we'll do that flight. I may stream it regardless, but I will, be more prone to thinking that there will be people that may tune in and say hello. So, and we will make our way over to Germany. I'll do the planning, like the pre-planning for it. Dude, there is a freaking mountain, like, over there. That's crazy. Crazy. All right, cool. And we're 40 miles out, so about 10 more miles, and we're going to start descending. But, Or was I? Yes, we'll do that. I'll do the planning, and then I'll show the planning, and we will take off. And for dates, real quick, if you're looking at dates, Hockenheim's going to be November 14th, so that's about a month away from now. So to get there, it's going to be beforehand. Now, to get back, if there's enough enjoyment and activity in the getting there, then I'll do the same thing coming back. If there's not, I'm happy to do it coming back and just, like, I can do the full video and then do a pared down video of it as well. Suzuka is going to be 11/28. It's going to be the same thing. I'm going to have to get over to Japan, which is going to mean figuring out how to get over there without using... I would like to use private planes as opposed to commercial jets for multiple reasons. One, I just enjoy flying them more. I don't get a lot of enjoyment out of the commercial jets. But two, because, you know, I just... Actually, no. Pretty much one. You know, in the vein of storytelling or the lore aspect of it, you know, I would like to think that a private jet or private planes being more reminiscent of a good story, right? I've heard it best from one of my colleagues: never let the truth get in the way of a good story. Take that for what you will. That might be terrible advice, but all that to say, in this case, yeah, that's what we're gonna aim to do. So let me know what you think. I'll gauge the interest, and I'm not looking for like 800 people to be tuning in, right? I'm talking like we get 2, 3, 5, 10 people tops is what would be like. That would be a stretch goal. I'd expect maybe 2 to 3 people actually being interested in this. So maybe we build out an entire thing around it, but let's start small and just make sure that we're enjoying the journey here first. So, yeah, in other real-time news here, Asheville Regional is going to come down here on our southwest. Pretty cool. I drove past that this weekend as well. If we were coming around in the daytime, I'd go around Biltmore, and you guys can check that out, but it's not the daytime. So, here at the 30-mile mark, we are going to start our next descent. We're going to, here we go. Yep. So let me pitch that plane up real quick so I can, there we go. All right, I'm gonna pull power back. Don't need to pull it quite that far. About 66 on the torque percentage, looks to be the sweet spot butter zone. Okay, so we're gonna start our descent like that, which is good. Let's say that's healthy. But yeah, so dates, critical dates. We're talking for race dates. Now, these are not, it's going to be before and after, and I don't have hard confirmed dates right now or hard commit dates on the flights, especially these longer ones, right? Like Indy's going to be easy. I could do it. I could do the flight back day of. Flight there, I'll probably do a day or two in advance because I can do it over the weekend. But for Hockenheim and stuff, that's going to be like a day that I have to go commit to that. So it's probably going to be on the weekend. And same on the coming back aspect of it. So, just as a quick FYI. But yeah, dates. Hockenheim Ring is going to be 11/14. Suzuka's 11/28. And then Road America is going to be 12/12, which obviously is not quite as involved. But yeah, that's where things sit right now. Actually going to pull up, given our relative altitude is dropping below what I would deem as a safe or comfortable level. So let me just go ahead and pitch the aircraft up here. We're gonna hand fly this out. I see that coming here and just don't want to get tangled in it. So, should sufficiently clear, but it'll be a little bit on the closer end. We are definitely running into some turbulence here. Yeah, we only cleared that by 500 feet, so not good, not good. should be closing in on our desired kind of desired area here. Yeah. Don't think we're going to have any close calls. These are pretty much the flatlands. We should be through the mountainous kind of area here. And I'm going to re-engage autopilot. We're going to bump that right there. Now, once we hit our due transition here in about 18 miles, that's going to be when I start. We're going to try to reduce speed in conjunction with that. So at about 5 to 10 miles to go, I will. I will reduce our speed down to about 170 knots. We'll throw down the landing gear and the flaps, first level of flaps. And I am excited if you're. Oh, and if you were curious, I did just turn on our landing lights, which I should have done at 10,000 feet. So sorry about you. But yeah, if you are curious, I am excited right now to use my panel here and go gear down with it. That's just. Is it stupid? Probably, but I'm excited about it, and that's what counts. The whole point of this is to have fun, and that to me is fun. So we are getting there. There's lots to see here. Actually, while we're not quite in the range, we'll do a little backseat view here over the wing. Look at that. So we're coming in. We are coming in. Look at that full moon. Accurate, it does look like that. Less the fact that it's actually raining here, but the full moon is out. So, very neat stuff. All right, well, I'm gonna top not top, but polish this coffee off. All right, so that is done. Coffee is polished off. We're going to do a little bit of a zooming in here so we can read that stuff sufficiently. So 4,000 feet, we've met that. Next is going to be our 2,400 foot mark. Okay, and we will probably do that via flight level change. So we're in the 9-mile deal. I'm going to start backing off our power here. So we're going to have to start bringing that angle of attack up, start pitching the nose of the plane up. Oh, did I? Oh, don't do that, don't do that, don't do that. Just accidentally clicked something here. Nerve-wracking. This terrain looks like a little bit low, but let's get this brought up here. Okay, gonna do that. Don't quite need to go gear down just yet. We are going to keep our speed about right here. So we got flaps down in the takeoff position. So we'll get through the terrain first, and then we'll start moving. I mean, we should have more than enough headwind to keep a healthy amount of lift. But I don't want to drop really below 160 knots right now. Okay, that over there, I believe, ladies and gents, is going to be Greenville in general, the Greenville area. So pretty sweet stuff. Going to be a good time getting in here. I'm excited. I am excited. just a hair so we don't get too excited from a from a aircraft perspective. It's gonna be a bumpy ride, that is for sure. Okay. Should start banking here in the next minute or two. Actually, we probably should use vertical speed as well because we can maintain whatever our speed is. Oh yeah, course just changed. You should see everything does what it's supposed to. Should see us start to bank here.
Docker 7, Papa Whiskey. Contact Greer approach on 118.8.
Can do.
118.8 for Docker 7 Papa Whiskey. Rear approach Docker November
There we
107 Papa Whiskey 4,100 feet.
Docker November 107, Papa Whiskey Greer. Approach altimeter 29.98. Continue as planned.
Awesome. Man, it's really died down as far as the turbulence. That's good. It's good because I'm rusty. This is my first. I did one landing before this, and I was actually just trying to test my controls. Whew. Okay. Out. Beautiful. Absolutely beautiful. There we go. So I can turn this bank control on, which will basically reduce the rate at which we're banking, but the flight plan for this is so relaxed that I don't see the need in this case. It's supposed to be, I think, a comfort feature. It might be related to maybe the payload on board, but I think it's okay. I think we're about to change waypoints here. Oh, wrong. That was verticals. That is what I wanted to do here. Okay. Start dropping. Healthy descent, nothing too crazy. Is there any other drops? It's gonna be 1,000, so we'll set that next, but truth be told, probably just gonna fly that part in. Once we reach our 2,400 feet, that's when I'm gonna start getting into the real slow stuff. Hidba, I'm gonna be for sure, like between Tivol and Hidba, we're gonna be dropping to 120 knots, dropping flaps, dropping gear, getting this baby going. And one quick thing, I want to make sure here. Approach altimeters are good, fuel gauges are good, de-ice is good, inertial separator we do need to put on, but that should be good. Landing gear down, flaps, autopilot. Yeah, I'll disconnect. Yep, agreed there. Cool. Okay, that is what I needed. Okay, so I'll let the plane turn. Start banking. Need a little bit of speed in the turn. We'll set this just in case. Okay, it's prime time, baby. Prime time. So, let's pop our little noggins up here. Let's make a quick look into the future. That is what we're aiming for right there, baby. Okay, I can handle that. We're gonna start drawing back the power. Well, we can hang out. We can hang out at this power level. We're close enough now, power-wise, that we can safely do this. So we may end up letting it go flight level control at the Hidba site because I think it's far enough in that we'll be okay doing that. Matter of fact, at the 2-mile mark, let's go ahead and get that set up. We're gonna drop down here, get down to the 1,000 foot mark, and then we'll past the Hidba point, we'll drop the yaw damper, drop autopilot, and we will drop landing gear and get going here. So we're still a ways from the actual like runway here. Yeah, so we're 4 miles out, which is plenty for us to start this. Matter of fact, 1,000 feet might be short. Let's bump this. 1,400 feet.
Landing gear. Landing gear.
We're gonna go. All right, we are in control. We're flying now. In case you're wondering what's going on here, so we got a little bit of a crosswind, not much, not much. little pop up here. Yep, okay. So we're left of runway. We need to bring her back over. Need to aim left of runway. Yep. Make sure we're staying here, left of runway. All right, let's start aiming for a touchdown point here. You know, what we didn't do is even ask whether we can land here. So just here we go. Here we go. Maybe a little bit of a late touchdown here. Keep it pointed down, keep it pointed down, keep it pointed down. Nope. Why is I got a rudder failure. I am not getting any rudder control. All right.
Landing gear.
We're gonna have to do a go around. I have no. Is that a function of no yaw damper, or what is going on with that? Okay, we're trimmed appropriately. Let me check into something. Nope, not that. Okay. Why do I have no... Interesting. Okay. Oh. That was not... Okay, so that is from that. Okay, alright, well. Apologies everybody. So we are going to try this again. What we can do though is, while we're doing this here,
Greenville Tower, Daher November 107 Papa Whiskey is 3 miles southeast, 3,500 feet, with Oscar to land.
Daher November 107 Papa Whiskey, Greenville Tower. Altimeter 29.9 wind, calm enter, left downwind runway 10.
Okay.
Fly left downwind runway 10 Daher 7 Papa Whiskey.
Well, that's going to be different than what we originally intended, but that's okay. So we're going to come in runway 10, right? Runway 10. Okay. That's going to be runway we're about to be parallel with. Okay. We're gonna go work on the trim. We're gonna be hand flying the remainder of this. Okay, what a good experience. Good experience. So in real life, obviously, it wouldn't have stopped the plane, but it would have at least been something that we would have had to address. Like we would have had to troubleshoot that in the plane, maintain being calm. Still get the job done.
Wind calm, clear to land runway 10.
Excellent.
Clear to land runway 10 Daher 7 Papa Whiskey.
So we're going to reduce our throttle here so that we can get our flaps set. So we're gonna pull up so that we can slow down a little bit.
Landing gear.
Yep,
Landing gear.
landing gear. All right, landing gear on my deal is a 3 green. We're 3 green there. So we're gonna go 45 degrees, kind of max descending there, and we will get a beautiful view of beautiful downtown Greenville. Very, very cool. That is actually fairly accurate, which is, I find, very neat. Okay, so I turned a little bit sharp. A little bit sharp. Let me just, it's so funny. We came in with such a good, kind of, what's the word I'm looking for? Direction and trajectory, and everything was good. Like we were set up for a successful landing, and now we are set up for a pretty scrappy landing. That's how I'd describe it. But you know what? That's okay. It'll be just fine. It is pretty calm though. I don't expect to have to fight any wind, so we're gonna go head on. Here we go. All right, let's try to get it. Let's try to do a better landing than what we were gonna do before. Aiming at the numbers here. And touchdown. Sorry, I don't have proper rudder pedals, so I have like a central brake pedal, so I kind of got to do a little dance every time I got to brake, but also steer. All right. Turn next taxiway. Don't mind if I do. So
Delta 7 Papa Whiskey, contact ground on 121.25.
all right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Greenville downtown. Awesome, awesome, awesome. That is great. All right, so we have taxi lights on, strobe lights, we can turn off, nav lights off, beacon we're gonna leave on, panel lights definitely on.
Did you copy?
Yes.
121.25
The ice
for Dahmer 7
turned
Papa
off,
Whiskey.
pitot heat we will turn off as well. Okay, I guess we won't do that. I was thinking that would burn that up. Ground, request taxi to
Greenville
parking.
ground, Dahmer November 107 Papa Whiskey taxi to parking.
Delta November 107 Papa Whiskey taxi to general aviation parking via taxiway Charlie, cross runway 28, cross runway 1, cross runway 28, Delta Bravo.
Okay, so we're gonna go.
Taxiing to general aviation parking using taxiway Charlie, cross runway 28, cross runway 1, cross runway 28, Delta Bravo Dahmer 7 Papa Whiskey.
Just to make sure I understood that correctly. So they want us to cross runway 28, which is off to our right, so we're going to do that, and then cross runway 1, which I believe, yep, is below that. So we're going to basically go cross here, cross here, or here. Okay, I think I can manage that. Okay. Awesome, Awesome. And the peripherals worked as intended. All right, let's throw the trim back up here. Hold on. Yeah, okay. Just making sure we needed to turn here. Trying to get turned. So we're gonna do some mild off-roading. Okay. Cross runway 28. Roger, Dodger. We're gonna do cross runway 1. Don't worry about it. Just testing the off-road capability of our deal. And then Delta Bravo. So Delta's to the left here. And Bravo is right here. Yep. Try to get around there. And then we'll get over to general aviation parking, which is going to be, I believe, off to our right here. So let's go ahead and turn in. See if we have any nice parking people. Looks like helicopter parking. Ah, okay, so there looks like some tugs over there. We're gonna go follow this, and oh, there is it. Is that the buoys right there? Oh no, that's definitely just lights on top of that. Thank you, sir. Okay. Parking brake set, baby. Alright, so we're going to turn taxi lights off because we're not taxiing now. Turn our beacon light off. Okay. Pitot heat we're going to leave on because it yells at me if I don't do that. Shut down. So parking brake is good. Exterior lights are off. Interior lights we're going to leave it for right now. Fuel select, we need to go in here, switch it to manual, which it already is set to manual. Autopilot and trims, turn those off. Fuel select, autopilot bleed, we need to turn to the off. Okay, bleed is off. Throttle, flight idle for 2 minutes, so that's gonna be just, oh, nope, sorry, nope, not that. How do I get you? Okay, so we're gonna just assume that I can't do flight idle to off. Although I really should be able to. Like, come on. Oh, wait, hold on. Is it? I have no idea. I have no idea why it won't let me do that. But we're going to turn inertial separator is off. Aux boost pump is off. Generator off. Okay, so let's go up here real quick. Aux boost pump is already off, so that's good. Generator set to off. Source is set to off. Crash lever down. Yep, sorry. If you have no ignition, how can that be running? Is it pure, like... Okay. We're going to do something. I know. This is annoying. This is annoying. Oh, wait, hold on. Let me just try something. Resume. There we go. There we go. Okay, so it's a little jank, but it worked. Okay. Everybody, that was some work. That was some work. Okay, so not the finest parking job here by any means, but if you enjoyed that, I know it was a little rough, right? It was a little scrappy first go at it, but yeah, if you enjoyed that, by all means, let me know what you thought, how you feel about it. If you know, if you loved it, then let me know. If you hated it, also let me know. Definitely let me know if you hated it. And yeah, I hope you didn't hate it. I hope you got to enjoy it, and yeah, maybe we add some other functions to this, some lore, some enjoyable, you know, other features to the story here. But for right now, that's it. Coming up next, I'm gonna get the VOD for the race. It's gonna be short, like half-hour max. And that's being generous. We're going to get the VOD set up for that. So that'll be the Canadian Tire Motorsport Park race. We're going to get this video up. And then from there, we will start setting up for Indy to fly over there in the TBM, maybe a different paint job. And yeah, hope to see you all then. I think once I post both of these, I'll share them, throw it up on some sim racing Reddits and stuff like that if any people are interested. And yeah. Have a great rest of your day, and we will see you later.